Okay, Jacob, hang on. You need, first of all, Jacob, you saw me on YouTube, right? Okay, your buyer is from Sri Lanka. You need to ask your buyer how much importation tax to bring gold into your country of destination. That is the most important, Jacob. Yeah? You already saw me on YouTube, right? So I did explain that everything. So you need to ask your buyer if he has an importation license. Okay, has? Okay. Now, your buyer has to travel. We have to sign a contract between the buyer and the seller. So when your buyer send a letter of intent on his company letterhead through you, because you are the main contact of the buyer, you are buyer's mandate, right? Buyer's agent. So he needs to send a letter of intent to you first. Attention to Wilhelmina, because I'm the one who will screen your buyer. I'm the one. Just like when you apply for a job, you will be interviewed. And you know Wilhelmina is very, very strict. You know that. You saw that on YouTube. Wilhelmina is very brutal, right? Okay? So, when I receive your buyer's intent, then I would know which seller I'm going to put your buyer. Either in Guinea or in Mali, because Mali is the third largest gold producer, and in Conakry, Guinea is land of plenty. My seller is a miner. He mined the gold, so we have an existing customer. So I need to know how many quantities so that I could allocate. We could reserve, because last time 2 days ago we sold 100 kilos to a Saudi buyer. Cash, electronic. So we don't deal CIF, you must remember, on the first trial. Mhm. No, because CIF stands for cost and insurance and freight only. The buyer has to pay the gold. Yeah, because the seller has to declare that to his government that there is also valued added tax. So you are not paying the tax. The seller does, but you pay the price. Mm. Mm. Yeah? Oh, all right. Your buyer, no, your buyer has to refine the gold, because yes, he has to refine it. Now, the gold has many uses. Remember, so you're gonna say, okay, the Jacob, I wanna buy gold to make into gold bullion. Perfect, because you are buying a raw material coming from the mine, which is the seller produce it. Either you buyer making jewelry or spare parts on computer or 99.99, that is fine. We will provide him, but we need to initial do the assay first of the gold, okay, before the gold leave the country. Mhm. Then we would know the measurement. When the buyer refined it, we will know exact that if we're going to provide your buyer 1.2 or 1.3, then when he refined it to his refinery, then exactly 1,000 kilogram, 99.99. Why? The gold has a chemical element. We have to remove the chemical element because the gold will shrink. Right. So you understand now what I'm saying? Okay. So any question? Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah. How much is asking? Yeah, how much? We can discuss that. Yes, we can discuss that because it's a long term. Yes, we can discuss that. Yes, we can discuss that based on his intention, because we need to scrutinize his credibility, his financial credibility. We need to scrutinize him. We will discuss the discount. Today, the price of gold is $43,000 on the world market. So we will give him a discount so that when he resell it, because he's going to trade it, so he needs also a profit. So we understand that. As long as a long term, yes, we can do that. No, we need to refine it to the refinery that have a license to gold bullion, because gold bullion, when the gold has to be refined, the refinery that have a license that can put serial number and whole number, just called 99.99. So he has to bring that to the refinery of his destination. Yes. Maraming salamat. Thank you, Jacob, for your call. So how urgent, Jacob, how urgent is your buyer looking for gold? Well, tell your buyer to send us a letter of intention. Attention to Wilhelmina. Send it to you. All right. It's already online. You just click on the bottom on YouTube, remember? All right. All right. Thank you, Jacob. Okay, okay, bye. So now, you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Buyer saw me on YouTube. He has a buyer from Sri Lanka. Mhm. So therefore, you understand now that the gold has many uses. That particular buyer is looking to make into gold volume to refine it. We will give them the discount. Now, going back to this, I already given you, you can see that I'm talking to the buyer. He saw my video. Our port corporate offer is very unique. No such broker are explaining that. Now, this is the dollar, Australian dollar. Jacob was calling me. He lives in Melbourne. I live in Brisbane. So he's felt confident that my salary is real. Yes, you will never see a broker like this. Now, this is Australian dollars, $10, and this is the gold. Now, without the gold produced by a local miner, this paper money has no value because the central bank needs gold reserve. So therefore, everybody go to Africa because Africa is the huge continent and produce gold from their land. Now going back to the full corporate offer, because I was interrupted while I was talking to you. The full corporate offer means is the product, the gold is 22.52 carats plus the purity from 94, 95, 96, 97. Now Jacob called me from Melbourne. His buyer is looking to make into gold bullion. We can give that. Yeah, we can provide that. And he is asking 500 kilos. We will provide that because my seller have stocks and produce coming from his land. Now, you already saw the full corporate offer, remember? Live. Then you send me a letter of intention on your company letterhead stating what quantity of purity you're looking for. When we receive that, we will respond to you on a business proper way with the full acknowledgement on the seller's company letterhead. Right. Then I will send you the form to fill in because I'm the one who will scrutinize you. The name of your company, address, telephone number, email, etc. And then on the form, you need to have a bank, provide us banking details. When you return the form, you need to provide us your business license, your importation license, and you fill in the refinery address for us to verify. Now, Jacob was asking me if we give them a CIF. No, we don't give CIF on the first trial. The buyer has to pay cash. That's why you start a trial, 10 or 20, you pay cash. Because we don't know you and you don't know us. So you need to build your credibility in order for us to trust you. Now, once you pay cash, then we feel comfortable on the second shipment. When you order 500 kilos, then we will discuss that on the table. We will discuss that on the contract. We will give you 50% down payment because we don't know you. You never know, you might default the payment. Now we need a bank is a proof of fund that you have $1 million in your bank account, right? Because we need to know whether our gold will save into your hand so that you will not default the payment. And when the seller's representative will come to your destination, we will ask the guarantee from you that the seller has to be alive when he returns. Because last time, December 5, The seller's comrade from Guinea was poisoned by Indian Pakistani national in Dubai. So now we are very, very careful dealing with you, and you are also careful dealing with us. So both. I am here to scrutinize you. Then when you send your information, we will provide you all necessary documentation from the seller side. Now, you already received the contract. We will invite you to come to Africa with Wilhelmina. Okay? Wilhelmina will do the uh, charge extra service, because I am not a broker. I am here to facilitate you. If you don't need my extra service, I will arrange to go to you for you to travel to the head office. Okay? If there is an issue, I cannot help you. But if I'm with you, then I can sit down together. We will do the negotiation. You need a person that can have a negotiation skills, because some Africans, sometimes they are fickle-minded. I don't care if he is my seller or not. I'm telling you in the truthful way, because I've been to West Africa. African sellers are fickle-minded. So if I am on the table, we were discussed, right? Then there would be a final discussion about on the second shipment. You pay down payment. There is no upfront, because gold is money. Don't think about that you can buy gold no upfront. It's impossible. Right. Now I'm going to give you an example again. Now this is African money. Ghana money cedi. And this is Australian dollar, my money. Right? And this is dollar made of gold. I'm giving you a very, very scenario example. Without this gold, this paper money, the central bank would never print, because it needs a gold reserve, right? So you are buying the raw material, which is Doribar, made of dust gold, mined into the land of the seller. You're going to say, well, Amina, why everybody come to Africa? That's a very good question. Africa is a huge continent. God gave the country wealth, rich of natural resources. Why Australians are there in Africa? Chinese, Singaporean, Dubai, from Middle East, from America, from Germany, from Russia, from Istanbul. Why? Because of wealth, because of this. This is a currency. Gold is made of money. Why Bitcoins are popular today? Where are the Bitcoin coming from? Why? Where? Where are the Bitcoin coming from? From this gold. They are buying from us. They're buying from the local miner. Now you're gonna say, why local miner? They cannot afford to pay taxes. No, they can afford. You are going to pay, because the seller is going to declare that to his government to pay taxes. There's a value-added tax. In every country, the value-added tax, sometimes in Ghana 10%, sometimes in Kenya 8.5%, in Mali 9.5%, in Conakry, it depends. Every year the taxes changes, because that is an income of that country. Now I'm gonna give you a little bit of background of me. I've been in marketing for 36 years, buying and selling exactly the same. You pay for the products. I always give an example. If I don't have this dollar, I couldn't buy bread and milk and banana. The price of commodity today is high. Why? When the gold is high, the commodity is high. The milk used to be was only $2. Today the milk is $3.50. Right, on 5 milligrams, 500 milligrams. So therefore, when the gold is high, the commodity, the food is high as well. So think about it. You live in your country. You live in United States. When you buy the product, plus, plus, plus. In Australia, when I buy banana or bread, there is 10% government sales tax. In Dubai, the importation tax is 5%. In United Kingdom, the importation tax is 20% when you bring the Doribar. In Holland, 21%. So where are you going to find that the seller will give you for nothing? Tell me. I don't think so. So this full corporate offer really, really very, very easy to understand if you are well educated. Because to me, I went to school, I listened to the teacher. and I digest it. I'm just like your teacher, giving you an example. Right, this is our money. Okay, where this is the money of Ghana. Right, and this is my money in Australia. Okay, and this is my money in Australia, $10 and $1. It's $11. If you don't have this money, you wouldn't be able to get anything in your country. When I was in Africa, if I don't have this, right, I wouldn't be able to go to the restaurant in Accra Shopping Center. During the time when I went, this is the leftover money I have. So where on earth that you can say, well, Amina, I want to buy gold, no upfront fee. I think you've got the wrong business. Now, when you be on the ground, you taste the gold, right? The purity and the carats, you will be given an assay report. Now, before you travel, you have to bring gold analyzer. You buy that online. You can buy 5,000 or 10,000. You double check. After the initial assay to the local refinery, you double check if the purity is exactly the same as on your gold analyzer. If there is a discrepancy, say, oh, it's not really equal to my gold analyzer. So then the seller can give you extra gram, because that gold will shrink during the final assay. Now, you must remember today the price of gold is 43 per gram. So we are selling 43 per gram. Now, we are going to give you a discount so that you will get the profit at the end of the day. So we will discuss that after you listen to my explanation. Then you can come on Skype. Then we can discuss and explain to you. After you pay bank to bank, then the seller will get the export documentation on your behalf. The seller will provide you the assay report. The seller will provide you the attestation. The seller will provide you that you pay the gold. The receipt, we call that receipt in gold export documentation. Then the seller will provide you that the gold is free of illegal activities. Then the custom clearance. Then the airway bill. Then the seller will ship it to your destination on the big quantity. If you want to hand carry 5 or 10 kilos, that's fine. Still, you are given an export documentation so that you can take the gold out of the country. The custom clearance is very, very important. Without the custom clearance, you will never get gold out of the country, or else you're going to be arrested as a smuggler. So do not cut corner. Do not. There's a lot of offer there, 27, don't grab it. That is only to tease you. We call that on real estate advertising, in order for you to come to that particular person. But when you travel, it's no longer 27. Why? That seller will say, okay, the price is 27, you pay taxes. Right. So now you're going to be trapped. Our selling price is tax inclusive. We don't ask you tax anymore. I told my seller, do not ask the buyer to pay taxes. The seller does. If that particular buyer asking you to pay taxes, he doesn't have cash. He doesn't have a license. Yeah, so don't be trapped. Do not. You're going to lose your money. Now, you need Wilhelmina on the ground. Don't be greedy. What is Wilhelmina's airfare and accommodation if you get a handsome profit? Tell me. So, if I am not around with you, and I will arrange the meeting with the seller, fine. But if there is a small issue, don't ask me. Because most of the sellers in Africa, they are fickle-minded. Right? You know how many sellers I fired in Ghana? 7. I fired them all. They signed a contract, they don't honor, and they don't show up, they don't pick up the phone when you call. So do not come to Ghana. Do not. I discourage you. I've been to Ghana. Don't. The seller lives on the countryside on 5 hours. They will bring the gold to Accra. So don't. There's so many buyers in Accra that crying for my help. I refuse it. Right. And in tax in Ghana is very high. The government would not allow any seller to take the gold out of the country without full payment. So don't. Come to Wilhelmina. I will guide you properly. right? I've been to Ghana. I was even screwed, eh? So don't be trapped on disaster this time. 2018, listen to this lady. I am more experienced than you, right? Buying and selling is exactly the same. You need to do the contract. You need to be invited. The gold will not come to you. You need to chase the gold, right? So I'll take you to Bamako or Conakry. Come to Conakry with me. Okay, there is one buyer on Conakry. Wilhelmina, I am here in Conakry. I said, how long you been in Conakry? 1 week. Can you bring gold to Central Bank? No. Central Bank has nothing to do with the gold. Central Bank will provide the seller the paperwork. You need to come to the office. You need to have a contract with us if you are on Conakry. Then you come to the office, to the head office, inspect, all right? Inspect the gold. But my seller would not entertain you if you're on the ground. Why? You've been window shopping, thinking you can get gold for free. Gold is not for free. Remember the price today is $43,000 on the world market today? And you are asking for cheap price? You would never get gold. We will give you a discount. We will discuss that when you come online on Skype conference. We will discuss that. You will still get the profit. You will get the profit handsomely. I know you're a trader. I know that. You buy and sell and trade it. You sell it to your own destination, to the refinery. Of course, you as the trader, you lay out the capital first before you get the profit. Does that make sense? I think I already discussed with you from video to video, but still you don't understand. Now I explain already the full corporate offer. Tell me, did you understand my previous video, or you understand today that I explained the full corporate offer online? I will repeat again. I will summarize to shorten. The full corporate offer stands for what the seller gold is all about. The carats from 22 plus, the purity from 94 to 97 above. The origin is West Africa and Central Africa. That is the full corporate offer. Now, the full corporate offer will no longer be keeping sending to you. We are now online. You can see Wilhelmina on YouTube. Jacob called me a while ago. Remember when I was talking on the phone? He lives in Melbourne. His buyer is from Sri Lanka, 500 kilos. Right. So now you will no longer be frustrated. You see this beautiful lady. Right. Jacob said, oh, I saw this lady. She has an accent. Of course, the accent have a good distinction. And Jacob said, are you a Filipino? Of course. I was born in a beautiful country. Where I was born is the Philippines. Yes, I am not African. Yeah. So, Wilhelmina is full of hilarious, but believe me, when you muck around with this woman, I'm very brutal. But when you buy gold, I will guide you step by step, because I don't want you to make an accident. Because I was being screwed when I was in West Africa. I was being screwed in Ghana. Ghana sellers are devious, so don't come to Ghana. I'm telling you, I would fire them. No matter how educated the seller, they want to cut corners. And then who is the fault? The both buyers and seller. Do not blame Wilhelmina, because Wilhelmina is giving you the guidance. Right? Does any brokers explain to you like this? Nobody. So Wilhelmina is an asset to your business. Of course, Wilhelmina's service is not for free either. I've given you all the explanation on YouTube. My seller own the gold, but if you need extra service of Wilhelmina, what is airfare and hotel accommodation if you get a handsome profit? Tell me. Not the airfare and accommodation is a little bit to spend. I'm charging my extra service, my dear. Yeah, I've given you free service already online, but when you need Wilhelmina on the ground, yes, I'm not giving my service. You need Wilhelmina on the ground so that you will not encounter disaster. I'm telling you 100% guarantee. Right? Because remember, I fired Ghana seller December. They are devious. They sign the contract, they don't honor the contract. But if I am with you, the seller and the buyer has to discuss it properly. Come to Conakry. My seller is the best. Yes, my seller is the best. He owns 10 concessions. The gold and the diamond coming from his land. I'll take you there. You will never become frustrated anymore. You don't need to float around anymore. We are now on global communication, you must remember. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. I shall wait for you when you wake up, whenever you are. Okay? Come, because Wilhelmina is waiting for you to listen to your needs, to listen how you are able to get this precious mineral. Do you understand what is precious? Of course, the price is also precious. Right? I hope you understand what I'm saying. Have a pleasant good morning.